right destination. Snugly situated in the valleys of the Khasi Hills, the rustling leaves, the sound of the wind will truly entrance you into the deep slumber you desire as we make our way into this live forest and into the transcendent beauty of Sohra. Welcome to the land of clouds. Welcome to Meghalaya. Good evening. I am Carrie Edwards, and welcome to tonight's story. This travel story is written by Jahnavi Saraf and is designed to help you drift off into a deep slumber to the magnificent sights and sounds of the travel. Sit down or lie down. Go on. I'll wait to start the story. Feel free to press pause now if you need more time. The story captures the imagination with its beauty, and as it progresses, you will feel like you are falling asleep. And at that time, let yourself drift off. You can always come back again and hear more of it. Some elements in these stories are based on folklore and hearsay, so pardon the tale if it strays away from veracity. Now that you're comfortable and snug, we begin our travels. Tonight, we travel to Cherrapunji, a land of breathtaking beauty and a place where the forests are alive with the sounds of nature. There is a beautiful concept in science, which is siturism. It signifies the sounds that trees make. And if there is a place on planet Earth where you can simply sit with a warm cup of coffee as you eavesdrop on the secrets of the universe that the old trees discuss among themselves, that place is Sohra. Take a moment and breathe in the smell of the mountains. That smells like rain, you think, as you slowly mount your bicycle for the tour of the living jungles of Sohra. Your eyes are soothed by the vision of green everywhere. Cycling in this terrain is fairly easy. Apart from the occasional rocky climb to the top of the hill, the village path is very sturdy. You look into a distance that looks like a valley of green, and as your legs begin to absent-mindedly pedal the bicycle, your mind drifts to a strange thought. The human eye is capable of distinguishing between even the slightest changes in the color green. A kindly lecturer had told you once. It's true. There is so much green here. It is almost as if there is a whole new palette of greens that you have never seen before. A soft breeze blows inwards from the valley. And you remember reading, the whistles of the breeze always accompany rain. And you're ready for it with your raincoat and your waterproof shoes. As the sun slowly begins its westward journey, the light slightly dims, and you leave the sleepy town of Sohra behind. As you pedal your trusty bicycle, small droplets of rain begin to fall on your arms and trickle down to your fingers, soothing your skin. Once again, breathe in that distinct smell of the soil when the rainfall nourishes the parched earth. It's not the rainy season yet in the area, so the rain is mild and delicate. The breeze, along with the raindrops, cool your body comfortably and provides relief from the heat you feel. From here on, the journey is smooth. We are visiting the Jengking Nogriat, a double-decker route bridge of Meghalaya. One of the other cyclists in your tribe is a seasoned Meghalaya guide. He has a kind face and a zest for life that is unparalleled. He has cycled every path in the state and has a penchant for storytelling. He asks you if you know about the legend of the forbidden tree. He says, at first glance, Sohra is a sleepy town, but on closer inspection, one finds themselves the most awakened in such a picturesque environment. The hills of Kasi are crawling with legends and old folk tales that truly capture the essence of Sohra. Perhaps it was a great day for divinity when Sohra was built, and hence is blessed with the forbidden tree. The legend of the forbidden tree describes that on the first day when Sohra was formed, an enormous tree was placed here. one whose roots burrowed deep within the earth, and whose branches entangled clouds and reached up till the heavens to make a golden bridge. The village was then blessed with 7 huts, which became the home for the 7 tribes of Sohra. The tree bore fruits, provided shade, and nurtured the humans until one day a human struck the tree with an axe. The heavens thundered, yet the human wouldn't relent. He took home the wood and returned the next morning for more. Once again, he struck the tree, and the heavens roared with lightning, and the man took the wood home. One last time, the man struck the tree, which spelled the doom for the bridges to the heavens. The tree lost its life, and with that, it collapsed onto its side, severing the bridge to heaven and creating the Kasi Valley that runs through India into Bangladesh. The tree flattened the area around it, and the skies thundered with pain. The heavens wept as the tree collapsed. And perhaps this is the reason why it rains in Sohra every single day. These rains are the reason why the place has developed a delicate balance for itself, which makes it a unique ecosystem. There are species of birds and plants here that cannot survive anywhere else in the world. Much like the Amazonian jungles of South America and the Nile riverbed in Egypt, the jungles of Sohra became the orchards that bore fruit year-round, and its famed oranges got itself the name Cherrapunji. Another story says that during the British Raj, the imperialist governors couldn't pronounce Sohra. They would call it Chora, and the rest is history. Known for hundreds of years, Cherrapunji held the world record for the highest rain ever received in one season. The rain here is measured in feet, not in millimeters. In 1861, it received 86 feet of rainfall. This record was broken by Mawsynram, another village in the East Khasi Hills, by a few more feet of rain. But after no less than 120 years, the heavens seem to weep for the forbidden tree even today. As this magical story comes to an end, it is time to leave behind the bicycle and continue on foot. The sun is dimming slowly. There are remnants of the past here, like overhead power lines. The unforgiving terrain of Cherrapunji and the torrential rainfall makes it impossible to construct underground power grids. It reminds you of the old days, and you are instantly thinking of the memories of when you were younger. The kind cyclist guide has a thick northeastern accent and urges you to begin walking. The downward journey is a walk for 30 minutes, which will bring you to the basin of the Umayam River. As you begin to descend, you notice that there are small huts on the sides of these stairs, made from bamboo staffs and leaves. The huts can barely support 4 or 5 people. When you inquire what these are for, someone tells you these are for the forest guards who patrol the valley at night. The spiral staircase has a certain hypnotic quality to it. The handrails on the sides are sturdy. The soil is still moist from the light rains a while ago. There are tall, sturdy trees lining the way in multitudes as they cover your path with shade in the beginning. As you go further down, there is an occasional horn beep from a 2-seater tempo traveler carrying goods to villages, or a small carrier ferrying a child back from school. As twilight sets in, it is getting darker, and a comfortable chill spreads through the jungle. It is time for the lullaby of the crickets. The tall trees of the oak, bamboo, and pine family are now getting denser. The trunks of these trees are covered with other plants and creepers. The flowers are closing and bidding farewell to the sun. It's time for them to sleep. There is a profound learning in these jungles. Every time I come here, your guide says, there are plants that depend on other plants for survival. This is a give and take of nature. They are like close friends and family. They talk to each other at night when we all fall asleep. It is through this beautiful conversation that the next morning this forest is filled with flowers. The morning glory, though, are the orchids. When the orchids are in season, there are over 300 different types of flowers that grow here. The white and the purple that are the most common. They hang off the trees like luscious purple berries. The yellow and orange orchids that are bright and bring happiness. And my favorite, the fire star orchid that looks like the flames of a fire. All these surviving only because they hold on to each other. In Chinese mythology, orchids are believed to bring luck. All of you in today's tour are going to be blessed with good fortune if you spot the open orchids. He then points out to the left, in the distance. It looks like a pond of molten gold, and the setting sun's rays reflect off the Umayam Lake. We will go there tomorrow, he assures all of you. And as if on cue, turns on his little lantern to illuminate the path further. It is getting darker, but there are still small rays of light coming in from a clearing ahead. As you reach the clearing, there's a footbridge that takes you to the other side of the valley. But as you reach the middle of the bridge, eager to reach the root bridges, the guide urges you to stop and simply look up. And there, in the land of the clouds, you witness the true might of nature. As the clouds hover and are slowly prodded eastward, the rising moon is playing hide and seek. Your very own sky lantern, the guide points to the moon and smiles lovingly. You are mildly amused and reminded at the same time. It is not just about the destination. It is also about the journey. The people of Meghalaya are just as richly endowed as the land. They have hearts of gold, as is very evident from a handwritten sign up ahead that says, "You need not buy drinking water. Drinking water available here in the village." What kind of good fortune must one be born with to live in a paradise like this? The homes in Nongriat are simple and speak of architectural ingenuity. Flickering lights from tribal homes at a distance look like fairy lights. We are arriving at the living bridges of Nongriat, the guide announces. What lies ahead is an unbelievable marvel of engineering, much like the precariously perched homes, but way more interesting than these. The guide walks further and places his lantern on a boulder nearby. Strangely, this tiny lantern now seems much brighter than it seemed to be a few minutes ago. And you look around to realize you are truly in the heart of the jungle. Darkness has settled, but the golden light from the lantern is comforting. The crickets have become the composers of the symphony of the night, accompanied by the live stream that runs underneath these bridges. When they say the forest is alive, they mean it. Because these bridges are made from the roots of the living, breathing trees around the valley. The unforgiving terrain of the jungles in Nongriat made it very difficult for humans to travel uphill every day. So some brilliant tribal village men decided to suspend the roots of 2 trees from across the small valley. The roots grew longer and longer in search of water, but they were suspended, so they grew horizontally instead of going into the ground. Many months later, the roots had grown so much that they formed a bridge, and that opened a vast possibility of using roots as bridges. These roots are from trees that are living and breathing, so they grow with time and only become stronger by the day. It is very rare that a bridge gets stronger over time. that has another set of root bridges. The guide then leads you downwards to a lower bridge, slightly further below, that has another set of root bridges. "It is time to cross the bridge," he says excitedly, and begins to walk on it. The bridge has hundreds, even thousands, of thick banyan tree-like roots running together like steel fibers in the cables of urban bridges. The roots are intertwined and have created a sturdy path. A few roots that are higher serve as the handrails of the bridge. As you grip the handrail, you realize the real strength of the bridge itself. It doesn't falter or even sway with the movement. It stands steady, which is very comforting. Most trekkers don't travel here in the evening because the rains are unpredictable. But tonight, it won't rain very heavily. Only a drizzle, the guide says. As your heartbeat slows down and your breathing is relaxed, your tired feet want to rest. The guide motions all of you to sit on the bridge with him and gently turns off his lantern. With that, the moonlight floods into the jungle floor, and the frothy stream below looks whiter than before. The small water body in the north looks like a pond, now silver with moonshine. The pond has a rim of blue, but a darkening center, which means it is deep. Sometimes I like to believe that these roots are the descendants of the forbidden tree, your guide says. He hands you a steaming cup of charcoal, the famous rice coffee of the Jantian Hills. And then begins the dance of the fireflies. You sit there for a while, sipping on the warm beverage, wondering about the cosmic secrets these humongous trees whisper to each other every day. You're almost disappointed that the coffee is over, but it's time to head back. There's that gentle breeze again, as if on cue. The fireflies finish their final dance number and disperse before the first drops of rain fall into the pond below. Don't worry. It is just a drizzle, says the guide. It will be gone before you know it. As you get up and cross the bridge, the guide informs you that the rest of the journey will be in a small vehicle, and that the cycles will be delivered directly. A part of you breathes easy because the astounding natural beauty has left you a little weak-kneed. It is only a short climb upwards, he assures you. As you walk back on the steps carved into the side of the mountain, the sensation feels alien. The roots bridges have made you so accustomed to them that it doesn't seem like you ever want to walk on roads again. As you are nearing the end of the uphill trek, the guide spots an orchid blooming. Good luck and fortune are on your side, he says, and your mind is once again in the living root bridges of Nongriat as you eavesdrop on the wisdom of the universe in the jungles of Meghalaya.